Hello everyone, what is good? I'm Writing the Phantoms here, back with another tutorial, and this will probably be the last one I will do. So this one is how to get the Cemu emulator on, well, not only Cemu emulator on the Linux, but this will also help you how to get Pretendo onto Linux as well. So if you guys don't know what Pretendo is, for my Linux users, I'll go ahead and tell you. Pretendo is basically the it's basically what happens when you actually had the community take control of the 3DS and Wii U servers after Nintendo decides to shut them down. So basically that's what it is. You have a community of people that are keeping these kind of servers up and active because it is now considered abandonware for Nintendo. So right now what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and install the Cemu emulator, and then of course we'll worry about Pretendo when we get there. Sorry about that. That was my PlayStation phone. My phone going off with PlayStation alerts. My bad. So we're gonna go ahead and install Cemu. Let's start there. Now you can go ahead and keep this build, which is the 2.0-75. This is what you're gonna need because the way how Pretendo works is they work. At least as far as I know, they work with experimental builds. I don't think they work with stable builds, but I could always be wrong. You could try it out and see for yourself. But for the time being, we're going to go ahead and install the game data here. Now, of course, for me, this is my backup folder. This is more so going to be a video on migrating. If you had this already on Windows and you're already on Linux, then you can do what I do. But if you're completely new to this whole thing, you haven't done it before, just follow the steps I'm going to go ahead and give you with trying to get the Cemu emulator to work with Pretendo, at least for Linux. So for right now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and launch it. Next, close, don't matter. So this is what's supposed to happen. This is how it all pops up. So we're going to go ahead and close it here. Now, for me, in my case, I'm going to go ahead and install the 2.0-88 because that's the one that I use that, they still work with this. So, of course, it'll still have the same file and everything, but as long as it still has Cemu there, it won't be too big of an issue. One thing I will say this to make sure, if it's at all possible, if you still have your folder from Windows, like say if you have it on another hard drive, I would absolutely recommend you just copy all of that over and then paste it because it's still going to work the same way. So then that way you won't really have much of a problem when you're doing this. But in this case, I'm going to be copying over a couple files because in case if people do want to stick with that experimental build, which is 2.0-75, you're going to need a couple files. You're going to need the OTP file, OTP-bin, the cprom.bin file, and you're going to need your sorry about that. You're going to need your mlc.01 file. So you're going to need 1, 2, and 3. You're going to need all 3 of these, and then you move them over here. So we're going to go ahead, I'm sorry, well, not from over here, you move it in here, of course, in the same spot. But yeah, you take these and you just move them over here. Actually, I'm going to cancel that because I'm going to just copy them and paste them because I'm going to move this right back over to the way it was. But for video's sake, for tutorial's sake, I'm just using it just to use it. But yeah, if you do want to update your Cemu experimental builds, like say if you don't want to stick with 2.0-75, you literally come over. Let me see if I have it here. I should have it here. Let me see. Cemu. There you go. There you go. Okay. Sorry for all the tabs, but yeah, you come over here. If you do want to update your Cemu from here, you can absolutely do it. this way. You can see all these experimental releases. Make sure you get the Windows one, and basically all you do from there is you just copy and paste it over. So that's literally the best way that you can do this without it being any problems, being any issues, and then you should be fine. Hopefully. Again, 2.0-88 is the one I'm using. But yeah, once you got these 3 files all copied over, 1, 2, and 3, now we're going to go ahead and open up our Cemu again. Now, this will not pop up like this when you start, when you have them copied over, because what you're supposed to do is you go to your general settings and then you go to your account. Now, this won't have a name up there unless you are unless if you're doing this the legit way. For me, I did this a completely different way. I didn't do this the legit way. I did this the illegal way. So I'm gonna let you know right now. There is a website where someone is selling keys for the Wii U and of course the 3DS as well with Citra. So you could just buy keys from him for like $10 or $5, whichever which. I think it's $10. And you could just take the files from there and you can move them over and it would still work. So basically you take this, it should say 8000, the N should be 1. If it's not a 1, if it's a 2, then that means something's wrong. So then that way you have the option to switch between Nintendo and Pretendo. See what I mean? You got those options. And of course you see enable online mode. You go to yes. He said please be aware. Online mode lets you connect to official servers and therefore there's a risk of getting banned. Only proceed if you're willing to risk losing access with your Wii U and Nintendo ID, which blah blah blah. Now, if you're sticking with the 2.0-75, then yeah, go ahead and do this. But for me, I'm not sticking with this. But of course, the same typical shit is to basically go to your you find your stuff, such as right now my MLC path. I'm going to go to computer, C, program files, Cemu, MLC1. And for me, my games are actually in the same folder, so I won't have this problem. So as you can see, everything popped up and they're all in the same folder. Now, let me go ahead, if you guys don't mind, let me go ahead and actually copy what I have here. Let me copy them all over to the actual spot. And it's still going to be fine. It's still going to work the same way. That's mainly for if you're new and you never did it before. Now this is if you're migrating over from Windows and you still have your Cemu files, you still have your Pretendo files, and you are just migrating them over. So as you can see, it'll take a bit, and honestly for me that's okay, because I just, I wanted to show y'all this for tutorial purposes. But yeah, what happened just now, that was if you're new. If you're new and you never did Pretendo before through Linux, or you never set it up, never set up Pretendo before through Linux like that, when it goes to Cemu, then that's something you can do. But for me, I'm not new to this. I'm not new to how Pretendo works with Cemu. So there you go. So that's why I'm moving all this over. Like I said, if anyone wants to know how to get this to work through the 3DS, I will be having a link down in the description below, along with the comment section below. That'll showcase a video on how to get this to work through Linux from someone else. Now, they did use a Steam Deck, but that's still fine, because the way that I see it, I'm sure Linux is still with Steam, or Steam Deck is with Linux, blah blah blah. And it should still be fine. Basically, the only thing that's different between doing it through Steam Deck and doing it through here as a desktop is basically what you do. This is literally the part I'm going to show you here before we actually activate more of this. Basically, what you do is you go to the plus sign, you go to search the Lutris website for installers, and then you put down Citra. And then what you do is you install Citra from here. So yeah, as you can see, you go to install from here. When that's done installing, you can either choose to keep that build, or better yet, this is a much better idea. Instead of choosing to keep that build, what you do is you go to the citraemulator.com/download, and then you download the Linux build from there. And what you do is you open up your Citra file from here. You go to browse files, you copy what's in those files, and then you just paste them over here. And then the rest of it is, you pretty much follow the rest of the video. So that's roughly how that goes. Now, when it goes to Cemu, let me open up again. This is my version of Cemu. As you can see, 2.0-88. We're going to go to options, general settings, account. As you can see, all the stuff is still here. Account, and as you can see, Pretendo is, of course, here. Now, again, if you're doing this the illegal way, you should see 8 and then -1, or whichever one that comes up first that is able to work with Pretendo. That's the one you should be using. Now, if you see there's 8-2, this will not work. Now, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. This is the one that should give you access to the Pretendo stuff. Now, of course, we're going to go ahead and hop into a game of... Let's do... You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do Smash Wii U. Because I think when I did this as a test last time, I did Splatoon, and I couldn't back out the game. It wouldn't let me. So we're just going to do this one and get it all out the way. See, it even tells you, would you like to activate Spot Pass, receive information? I'm going to say no. Do you want to see information? No. So you can now jump to eShop, blah, blah, blah. Connect to the Nintendo Network. See, now, if it lets me connect, they'll let you know right then and there it still, it works just fine. And as you can see, it works with no problem. We'll go to with anyone. We'll just go to for fun. You know what? No, let's go for glory. Let's see if anyone actually is somehow, for some reason, still playing this. I doubt it, but we're willing to find out. Damn, I haven't touched this at all. Yeah, if anyone pops up, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. But as you can see, this is exactly how it worked back then, where you had to wait and do shit. But otherwise, I wouldn't be able to have access to doing this if this was the case. So yeah, it definitely does work. So there you go. There's your little help. I'm gonna quit that. Now keep in mind, this only works with the games that it's supposed to work with. So there you go. So of course Smash Wii U works. Of course, what else works? This works. The Splatoon works. If you're trying to do this with Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, it will not work. Because right now they're not done with Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I think they're still in like some kind of experimental phase, whatever the fuck it is with it. The online portion of it still isn't working the way that it should. Let me actually go through Splatoon so you could really see. I'm gonna do it again anyway because fuck it, why not? But yeah, everything should work the way that you usually had it, especially if you were migrating over from Windows to Linux. It should still be fine. But if you're new, if you just followed the steps I gave you today, everything should work as intended. Now that's how you really know this shit will work, because why would they just give you this news talking about, you know, the maps and shit that you could just play on? I don't think they do that for you offline, but I could absolutely be wrong. But either way, we're just gonna get in here and we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get into a game. Search for a battle. Yep, as you can see, because I left last time, it'll be like, okay, you'll join the next available battle. I don't think they'll do that because I did lead the last time I did a recording. But yeah, that's it. That's all it for now. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like. If you need any help, I will help as much as I possibly can when it goes to setting up Cemu through here. And again, if you need help with the Citra version of this, again, I will send a link and I will go ahead and put in the description. All you had to do was just follow what I showed with how, you know, with Lutris, and then you should be good. So there you go. That's it, guys. I'll see y'all then.